I think if anyone ever turns around and says that the League Cup is a boring fix, like a boring tournament in general, and that it needs to be either scrapped or you need to play youth players or discard it altogether, they are lying because that was one of the best games I've seen in a long time. Tottenham 4, Manchester United 3. And I think that I don't think it was that both teams were particularly exciting and good. I think it was just both teams were pretty shit. I think Tottenham in general did what they did best, which is take the lead, look convincing, and then completely start to crumble. Maybe not of the fault of their own, maybe not of the fault of the tactics, but I just think in general that was, as like Gary Neville said, that is as Tottenham a thing as you will see from Fraser Forster's mistakes. And I think United just maybe rode a bit of momentum from the City game. I think they maybe just rode a bit of that high that they were on after that ridiculous victory against the City team, who were even shitter, to be honest. But no, that was one of the best cup games we've seen in a long, long time because this was two teams that weren't particularly good. This isn't two teams that were in a particularly good run of form. They've got a few little results here and there, but I mean, both beating City in the past month. But they were just both teams so awful. And this is just a quick reaction to it because it's been a long time since I've actually put anything up just because of work and stuff. But it was such a ridiculous match. Tottenham, I don't understand. I can't fathom what it is about Tottenham that makes them seem to play this same style of football, this way that they want to keep passing it back, keep passing around the back, even when they are dominating matches. I understand you want to slow it down and dictate the tempo in a sort of Arne Slot way or a Pep Guardiola way, but they don't have the players capable of doing it. You've got a makeshift back four that's got the likes of Gray in there, Dragerson, who's just not of the quality that Tottenham need, and you've got Fraser Forster, who's a goalkeeper who is not Premier League standard anymore. And if he is, he's low down Premier League, like Southampton level. If Aaron Ramsey, or sorry, Aaron Ramsdale is the Southampton goalkeeper, Forster is not to that level. Like there's no way he should be in a back four made up of these random mishmash of players trying to pass it out from the back with players constantly pressing him. It was a mess of a game. And I'm not going to break down the goals. I'm not going to break down everything that happened. This is just, it's unfathomable to me that Tottenham play the way they do, and Man United as well. Amorim's in for a nightmare tenure. I think the bubbles burst a little bit for him. He's come in, and people sort of expect them to come in and play this new brand, this new style of football, and the idea is there. You can see that, but he does not have the players capable of doing it. And Martinez had an awful game. I don't think Dallo looked particularly brilliant. Like Mazraoui did well, I think, especially towards the end, but Lindelof going off injured. You've got Johnny Evans in there. It's just, he hasn't got the players capable of playing the way that he wants to. And I think there are a few positives. Xerxes, when he came on, made an impact, scored that goal, of course, and he was actually quite good in the air. Bruno Fernandes had a very good game. Garnacho had a lively appearance, but they're so far off where they want to be, and they just don't have a squad capable of doing what Amorim wants them to do. And it's mental to me that they're going to have to probably go out and spend X, Y, and Z on X, Y, and Z. They're going to have to spend another stupid amount of money just to get the players in that he wants. And even then, there's no guarantee it's going to work. But that's a future problem for a future date. This match, I think, just showed the worst features of both teams. Tottenham cannot hold on to a lead. They cannot hold on to an advantage to save their life. If we play them on Sunday, and if I'm Slot, I'm going to Nunez and saying, right, you run at Forster, and Forster will shit bricks because he does not have the ability to keep the ball, play it out from the back. He's not that type of keeper, and that's no fault of his. He's not that style of goalkeeper. He never has been. But Postecoglou should recognize that, and he should sort of understand that he doesn't have the players capable of playing that way around the back. So keep it high up the pitch, keep it in United's half. And I said City, but keep it in United's half where they will struggle, where your strength is, where you've got Son and Kulusevski and Solanke and Maddison all up there to keep it up that end of the pitch. If you're a manager who prioritizes attacking football, who prioritizes keeping the ball in the opposition's half, you keep the ball there. You don't need to pass it around the back from free kicks. You don't need to try and dictate tempo, because the whole point of Postecoglou's system is he wants to pass it around the back to move it forward, to get it to the attacking players. But keep it up there then. Don't try and play this intricate, keep possession, slow it down, because like he said, he only knows the one way, and that is not slow. That is go for it, go for it. If when that was 3-0, you can tell that he's said to them, you make it 5, you make it 6. There's no slowdown in them. So why persist on passing it around the back? Like that Diallo goal was something that should not be happening. I understand maybe the Xerxes one, I can somewhat get that. But that Amad Diallo goal was absolutely ridiculous from Forster. And this is sort of going back like all over the place. But there were so many things to cover. The goals in particular, Son's goal was debatable. Was it a foul? Maybe. I don't think it is. I think this whole thing, he's getting his left arm pulled, but he's trying to punch it with his right. I think he just fucks it. I think he just makes an utter shambles of it, and it just goes in the back of the net. I think he's scrambling, he's panicking because he doesn't want to admit by India that he's in the wrong. He's the one who's messed that up. So that's a different story for a different day. United in that first half in particular looked so open at the back, and then straight from the first 15 minutes of the second half, they were just so exposed on the right back position because Mazraoui's having to push forward. There were so many gaps for Son to exploit. Kulusevski on going up against Dallo, lots of joy for him. And then the second half, that Xerxes goal just sprung United into life, and Tottenham were committing men forward. I don't think Basuma and Sarr had a particularly good game per se. A lot of the passing was gung-ho and wayward. I don't think any of the defenders looked assured. Xerxes was getting the better of whoever he was against in the air, and United in that second half, I think they deserved that equaliser. At least Diallo had a few good chances. Forster with that ridiculous kick, like it's some sort of volleyball game. Like it was an utter mental game, and that's why this isn't a composed sort of discussion. This is just purely going over the key bits because there's so many things that happened in it. I don't think either team really excelled. I don't think either team really shone or looked good from this. I don't think they're going to come out of this looking any better. This was just one of those games where it's end to end. You've got two teams who only know attack and football, who can't defend for their life. And that was a proper, if that's in the Premier League, that's regarded as one of the most entertaining games ever. And there are people who still think that the League Cup is not an important contest, who think the League Cup should be scrapped or should be abandoned or it's pointless. It's really not, because this was two teams full strength going for it, knew each other's weaknesses, knew each other was a poor team defensively, and they just went for it. Maybe Tottenham went full strength as such. There's a few injuries there, of course, but my God, it was just mental to watch. And I think Tottenham going through is probably the fair result based on that. We've got Arsenal, Tottenham, Newcastle, Liverpool in the next round, but there's no James Maddison and there's no Sarr for Tottenham. So I know who I want in the next round. I want Tottenham. I think that's probably the best way this can go. They'll miss the first leg and then the second leg. First leg at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, then missing second leg at Anfield would be the ideal way to go. But yeah, it was just absolutely chaotic. And then I think Tottenham set up well, the way they wanted to play, cut it across the box consistently to anyone who was running late into the box. Solanke was superb. Kulusevski is phenomenal. He's been superb all season. United's plan was just put pressure on them, and it sort of worked. But as soon as that fourth goal went in, you just knew it wasn't going to happen. And Johnny Evans scoring as well is something ridiculous. So yeah, it was entertaining, crazy, mental. Is what it is. Thank you, much for watching. This is just such a reaction to one of the most mental games I've seen in a long time. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.